And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, a game that I like quite a bit is Steam Torpedo, and today we're looking at an expansion called 2 Year Stations. Now this expansion is already out in France, and what we're looking at today is a pre-production copy of this game, of this expansion, that will be coming to America soon in English. So here's your chance to see it before it comes out. Let's see how it plays. Instead of giving you 10 modules like the first expansion did, this one here only gives you 7 modules. 3 of these modules, though, give you an extra person. So if you take, for example, the tactical briefing room, you get the second in command. If you take the kitchen, you get the cook. If you take the diving bottles, you get the combat diver. So it's up to you. Now, each of these people gives you some special abilities. If you take the second in command, he basically makes your captain more useful. By the way, each of these, when it blows up, it gives you like a minor thing. You can get people out of the room or whatever. Anyhow, he can switch places with the captain, which allows him, you have to remove an heir to do that, but it allows him to move around and get your captain there to activate stuff. Useful, I would think twice before putting him in, though. Then we have the cook. The cook can move 4, which is unbelievably fast. He also can beat up guys if they're on your submarine. I mean, he's great. If your opponent's trying to get people on your submarine to mess you over, the cook is your best way to stop it. Which seems odd that he's a cook, but hey, your submarine is under siege. Then you have diving bottles here, which give you the diver who can go outside the boat into the sea space and then go into your opponent. So he's the guy the cook would go after, but you can get into your opponent's boat. Then we just have 4 more modules here. We have the psychotic wave cannon, which can injure a person, and then if they do anything, their wound is transferred to the ship. Then we have the caffeine disynchronizer, or however you pronounce it. You can exhaust an enemy sailor, which is pretty neat, and this is also useful for moving the ship. Down below, we have the waterproof explosive chargers. This basically gives you the kamikaze ability, and you can eliminate them to do 1 damage to the component they're present in. Not the control room, because that'd be too powerful, but you can have one of your guys running around. I'm not so sure I like this, because giving up a crew member to do this is a big deal, but it's thematic in this. This is like the whole, ooh, our submarine's being boarded by the enemy. And then we have passive sonar, which says each time your opponent moves their submarine, you can move one of your sailors to a compartment adjacent to them. And it also gives you armor. Again, I'm not so sure how I feel about actually any of these. I like the psychotic wave cannon. I think this set's more interesting for the people that it adds. I would recommend picking up the first expansion, R&D, before getting this one, if only because R&D is simpler. It just adds more stuff. This adds a few more complicated, and a lot of it's about boarding the enemy submarine. Now, some people like that sort of thing, and that is pretty cool. I mean, you can mix some of the tiles with this, with some of the tiles from the original game, and you can have this whole, I'm just coming in to get you, especially if I get my cook on the ship, or whatever. So there's some interesting aspects of that. I do like the different people. It's cool. I don't know that I would use too many of them, because then you have to remember all the special abilities. But I would pick one maybe and work with that one on my submarine. And you have new tiles. So this is a good expansion. Again, I think the first one's more basic. I'd be hesitant to call it better, but I think it is a little bit better than this one. But still, this one adds more variety and takes the game in a different direction. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.